How are Teslas able to be sold when they have so many safety problems? Media sensationalism. Statistics show Teslas are not any more prone to failures than traditional cars. And autonomous-driven cars have less accidents than human-driven cars. You just hear about the few failures more due to the media spotlight on any new technology and natural distrust by the uneducated against progress. Just to address one of these issues, the standard door buttons require a working battery. But there is an emergency latch as well. This is a non-issue. While some Tesla fans oversell them, they are quite safe cars. I believe they are statistically safer than many, if not most, cars by traditional car makers. There are just some people who are dead set on proving how horrible Tesla is. I recommend renting or test driving one if you're truly interested in it. Of course, this all refers to the car itself. There are good reasons to not trust the full self-driving package. Tesla safety is regulated, just like safety of any other American or foreign-made car. It is regulated in USA by American agencies as well as by every foreign safety agency where Tesla is sold. The simple answer is that Teslas follow all government safety regulations and are highly rated for crash safety. There are occasional manufacturing defects from all manufacturers, some better than others. But negative anecdotes about Tesla are amplified by people pushing a specific agenda. In a country of laws, you don't decide whether a company is allowed to sell cars based on anecdotes on the internet or a popularity contest of CEOs. There are specific laws and regulations, and Tesla is not violating those. Turning your question around, we've now got about 15 years worth of debunked criticism about Tesla and failed predictions that the company was going to fail. With that in mind, shouldn't you be a little suspicious of the motives behind people pushing exclusively negative content about this company? For what it's worth, somebody I work with, not based in the US, bought herself a 4x4. When I asked what she bought, she told me it was a Jimny. Never heard of it. So one Google search later, I discovered that the Suzuki Jimny, which is one of the best-selling, longest-running 4x4 models in the world, used to be sold in the United States as the Samurai. The thing is, I remember the Samurai. I loved that little car. A friend of mine had one when I was in high school. While the Samurai was for sale in the North American market, they sold twice as many, if then, as Jeep sold Wranglers. Then there was suddenly all this, like, rumor about how dangerous they were, how they were prone to roll over. Consumer Reports issued an unfavorable review, claiming that the Samurai was a rollover risk. Suzuki couldn't duplicate the result, nobody could, but it quickly became clear that a whole series of new safety rules for light SUVs had essentially been paid for by old-school American automotive companies. To this day, all anyone in the US remembers about the Samurai was that it was dangerous and rolled over easily. But it never did. The fact is, when a challenger makes them feel threatened, the American auto industry tends to respond by leveraging its captive safety regulators. Lots of rumors about Tesla safety, you say? Tons of anecdotes. Even as the actual statistics on Tesla crashes seem to indicate a great safety record? But nevertheless, it seems like suddenly everybody knows that Teslas are unsafe. I don't really like Teslas. Not like I loved the Samurai. But still, you'll forgive me if I take all this with a grain of salt. Say, where'd you hear that Teslas were dangerous? Seems like you might be the victim of a campaign of disinformation. Or maybe they get a lot of hate for two main reasons. They're electric, and the company is run by Elon Musk. Lots of people are biased against electric cars, especially journalists that focus on cars. So when a Tesla has a problem, those people make sure you hear about it. Car malfunctions are not uncommon for all car brands. Teslas are also beginning to outcompete other brands in the luxury market. So these brands most definitely help spread any bad news regarding Tesla. There are also a lot of people that want Elon Musk to fail. So when anything related to him goes wrong, there's plenty of noise around it. The truth is, Teslas are actually one of the safest cars you can get. Every car manufacturer has major malfunctions every now and again. Some are even forced to recall tens of thousands of cars due to safety concerns. You gotta look at the actual stats, because the headlines don't represent the truth. You only read about that on Reddit. Reddit, that has a hard boner for everything anti-Elon. Tesla cars are just as safe if not safer than any other manufacturer. I'm gonna get downvoted to hell just for saying that because this place just hates Elon and everything Tesla equals bad. It's a bunch of kids who will never be able to afford a nicer car making themselves feel better about how those cars are bad. You hear all the bad stuff and not all the good stuff. Hang out on our Tesla Motors if you want to hear both sides of the coin. Don't forget, their CEO makes me embarrassed to drive it in public. Teslas are consistently ranked among the safest are available. You are reading anti-Elon propaganda. Both statistically and literally one of the safest vehicles ever made. Stay off of Reddit when it comes to Elon and Tesla. They have a hate boner for him. All things to be sold on the US must go through rigorous training. Teslas are the leader in safety. Set new levels of what is considered a safe car. Mine killed itself to let me step out and walk away. They don't have so many safety problems. You're reading too much propaganda on Reddit. The overall attitude towards Tesla is made up of reasonable and unreasonable motivations from people in general. The unreasonable part is people who are really invested in the idea of hating Elon Musk, which is a Reddit echo chamber thing that doesn't match the general population very well. The other thing is people who are very simple-minded and will automatically hate things that are expensive and that they perceive as excessive. As you can see from these comments in this thread, because capitalism. Because there's a whole lot of people in this country with too much money and not enough sense. The same thing has happened with Apple products. Some people really enjoy hating what they can't afford. People see Tesla as a means to complain about something they think about society. So if you want to be more reasonable and give a fair evaluation towards Teslas, you can see that some of their vehicles are actually very safe and have unique safety features. For example, the Model Y is by far safer than competitor vehicles just due to the fact that all its weight sits at the bottom of the car, so they handle rollovers extremely well. Another thing to appreciate about Teslas is that they have been the only cool and ultra-fast luxury electric. And they have their own charging stations and special remote services, which make them attractive to people who have an extra $5,000 to $10,000 to spend. People act like it's such a gigantic waste of money, but that is something that depends on one's income. So all the negative news about Teslas makes it seem like they are worse than what they are in reality. The negative news is clickbait. And most big subs are full of non-thinking Redditors who fall victim to all categories of clickbait. For example, our entertainment is full of users who are addicted to celebrity hate, clickbait, and will spend days regurgitating debunked information about celebrities. Or there's our politics, where apparently most people have never tried to study economics or politics at all. And they repeat extremely left-wing mantras that don't make sense. E.g., if corporations are people then. In conclusion, What you see on Reddit is not reality. And oftentimes, what you see on Reddit is dumber than average. It looks like your premise might be unbalanced. Here's what the AI thingy said. Do Tesla cars have a low safety rating? No. Tesla cars generally have a high safety rating. In fact, Tesla cars have received some of the highest safety ratings from independent organizations such as the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS. For example, the Tesla Model 3, which is one of the most popular Tesla models, received a 5-star safety rating from the NHTSA in all categories including frontal crash, side crash, and rollover. Additionally, the Model 3 was awarded the Top Safety Pick Plus award from the IIHS, which is the highest safety award given by the organization. Other Tesla models, such as the Model S and Model X, have also received high safety ratings from both the NHTSA and IIHS. However, it's worth noting that like any vehicle, accidents can still occur with Tesla cars. And it's important to always follow proper safety measures when operating any vehicle. ChatGPT February 13th version. Free research preview. The reports we hear about Tesla are really no different than other things we hear about in the media. The media reports based on what will keep our attention, so we see the advertisements that companies buy. They don't report based on what is significant or truly important. Mass shootings represent a very small fraction of gun deaths in the US. What's the biggest segment? By far, suicides. Why isn't that reported or given much attention? Because reading that doesn't captivate us. Drunk driving kills almost as many people as are murdered by guns. Why isn't that reported? Because it's not interesting. Wow, why are we getting so many train derailments recently? We're not. There was a bad one in O. Then we hear about one in MI. And someplace else I believe. We get, I think, about 1,000 derailments a year. That's 3 a day. So, no, train derailments haven't necessarily increased. They're just a hot topic. Electric cars are a hot topic. Tesla is a hot topic because of its success and because of Elon's antics. Yep, they have issues. All car companies do. Just because they're getting attention doesn't mean they're unsafe. Edit. As a Tesla owner, I can say anyone using autopilot or full self-drive that gets into some major accident is automatically at fault. I've done 13,000 road trip miles in the Tesla in the last 15 months. Use autopilot extensively. There have been times I've had to take control because it was doing something I wasn't comfortable with. For every one of those reports of someone dying, driver or someone else, I look for and usually can't find what the driver was doing at the time. And wondering why they didn't take over.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.